Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg, and this is All About Candles. I'm your self-proclaimed Canadian candle connoisseur. I have missed all of you. I am back to recording daily and posting daily. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I took a long weekend to spend some time with the boyfriend, put away my phone, and I went out to Pine Lake to visit my parents. And I want to give a shout out to Lynn and Leslie. I met them out at Pine Lake and took this cute selfie with them. They watch my channel, of course, because my mother told them to. But still, it was fun to meet some people who are watching my videos. Yeah, and I just had a really great time. I apologize for not responding to the comments too quickly. I just like to unplug, and you guys all leave me like such thoughtful comments. Like, everyone uses proper grammar and full sentences, and so I always want to like take the time to respond as thoughtfully. But I'm back in action now, you guys. We got a full week ahead of us, and I'm gonna kick things off with a Bath and Body Works review for you. This is Vanilla Romance. This is the single fragrance launch that they have done quite recently. They released this along with Vanilla Noir for men, which I really like. In fact, I think I'm gonna do a body care review of Vanilla Noir. I've been enjoying the cologne and the lotion quite a bit, and I really wish that we had gotten a candle for Vanilla Noir, but hey, what can you do? We got Vanilla Romance instead as a candle, and I liked it. I mean, I'm always on the search for a new vanilla candle to change my life, and this wasn't it. The closest that I've come recently to a really spectacular vanilla candle is probably Vanilla Fluff from Goose Creek. That is one of the strongest vanilla candles that I think I've ever burned. But we're here today to talk about this one. I think the jar's all right. I mean, I think it's a little bit plain. One of the things I don't like about the single fragrance launch like body care candles is that they always have like a solid wraparound that shows up metallic on the inside, so it doesn't let a lot of light through. It doesn't look particularly fancy when it's burning. And also lately, the wraparounds on these jars have just been so uneven. I mean, look at this. Like, it's not a symmetrically done wraparound. And when I was in the store, this is the one that I picked out that looked the best. All right, I mean, you can see the uneven seam on the back there. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty label, but I'm not obsessed with the packaging and haven't been that obsessed with the packaging for the single fragrance launch body care candles for a while, except the new Into the Night looks spectacular and burns spectacular. I'm burning that candle right now, so I'll have that review coming up for you soon as well. But let's talk about Vanilla Romance. The scent notes on here are fresh cardamom, vanilla absolute, and captivating woods. Now, to my nose, I do not get any cardamom from this at all. Like, none. So if you're not a cardamom fan, which is a fairly distinct, almost like love it or hate it fragrance, if you're not into cardamom, I wouldn't be scared of picking up this candle because my nose is not detecting that at all. My nose is captivating woods. I mean, there's definitely something musky in there. There's something a little bit musky, a little bit smoky. It's a vanilla body care fragrance from Bath and Body Works. No cardamom to me. This is like vanilla on the top with a little bit of musk. This is a very mid-range candle for me. It doesn't, there's something a bit smoky to it as well. Not in the way that, what was it, Vanilla Cloud? Vanilla Cloud kind of smelled like Marshmallow Fireside mixed with a really light floral to me. It doesn't smell like that. I'm thinking of a smokiness a little bit more along the lines of Bonfire Bash. Now, I don't think Bonfire Bash ever came out as a candle, but I did smell it in store a while ago and got the body wash, and I really actually enjoyed that fragrance. I think that the closest comparison to this would be Bonfire Bash. except it's not quite as smoky, not quite as potent and as abrasive as Bonfire Bash was. This is a much more softer and more perfumey vanilla. And it's also not that similar either to the vanilla and musk candle. I just talked about that candle in my weekly wax wrap up. If you want to go back and check that out, I wouldn't compare it to that either. Even though this is very vanilla and very musky, there's sort of a deep smoky perfuminess to it as well. And overall, I enjoyed this candle. I mean, I always get my hopes up so high for vanilla candles, and quite often I am disappointed. And I wouldn't say that this is a full-blown disappointment, but I could have used a little bit more strength and throw. So moving on to performance, it did really well. It actually burned quite cleanly. It had thin core wicks on it, so you had to limit it to shorter burn times. Make sure that you trimmed those wicks. It did pool out really quickly. It started performing pretty quickly, and I did let it burn all the way down until it extinguished itself. I did notice it getting a little bit dark right at the very end on that last burn. The wax got a little bit like black swirly and the fragrance did start to change a little bit. But I just let it go off and extinguish itself anyways. It was a pretty good burn. But moving on to strength and throw, I'd have to say it maxed out at, to be generous in my bedroom, I'd say it got up to a 6.5, and maybe during the real sort of like mid-range of the candle with some good deep wax pools, I think it got up to about a 7 in a bedroom. My bedroom's kind of like a medium to almost large space. I got it to a 7 in there. I'd say that in a more open area, it was like a 6, maybe even a 5.5. I feel like some of the burns in my more open space got pretty lost. 5.5, some of them were about a 6. I did find that this candle oscillated quite a bit between that 5.5 and the 7, you know, just depending on if I had my windows open, if it was in my bedroom, or if it was in my more open area. I say all this to say that it just wasn't strong enough to always have a consistent presence. However, it was strong enough to not be a total disappointment, okay? So, would I repurchase this one? I think that I might. I think that I might repurchase this one on SAS. I'd like to give it another go because I did really enjoy the fragrance. You guys know I'm a hoe for vanilla. And I really did like Bonfire Bash, and it did remind me a little bit of that. If it could have been consistently a 7 with like every burn, I'd be absolutely repurchasing this and heartily recommending it. And I do think I like the fragrance enough, and it did well enough for me to warrant a repurchase, probably if it goes on a really good price at semi-annual sale. A recommendation, that's a trickier one for me to answer. I mean, if you like this sort of fragrance, I would absolutely give it a go because it burned really nice and cleanly. It was a really pleasant candle. So if you love the fragrance, I'd recommend giving the candle a try, but it's nothing that I am really writing home about. But if you have been thirsting for a decent vanilla candle, this one might be right up your alley. Yeah, I liked it a lot, but I just, you know, I get my hopes up so high and I want to really love something, and this just didn't quite get there for me. But overall, no regrets buying it. There might be another one in my future. We shall see. Vanilla Romance. What I really wish we could do is have a candle for Vanilla Noir. Ladies, if you are thinking about picking up a scent for your man, I mean, I just love Vanilla Noir. I think it smells so rich and sexy. I would love to see a candle for that. So I hope that it does really well so that maybe it comes back and we get a candle. Like, I've noticed that they have been doing candles for more of the men's colognes lately. But I don't recall there being a Noir one. Maybe there was a Noir one a long time ago, but I don't remember it. I know there's been an Ocean recently. Gingham Unstoppable, which was a disappointment. Yeah, I mean, this just kind of made me want Vanilla Noir more because they came out at the same time, you know what I mean? But it was lovely. It was nice. It's a nice vanilla. I'm not super disappointed in it. Hopefully maybe you all found something useful or interesting about this very confusing review I've just done. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be back tomorrow with a very, very special candle shenanigans. I'm not giving you any hints as to what this candle is, but it's a gooder. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I've also got a fall Bath & Body Works haul coming. I did it, guys. I made it into store. I got Stranger Things. I got a bunch of the new Fall 2 candles. So that haul will be coming up later in the week as well. And if you want to hear stories about my shenanigans on my weekend off, stay tuned for my weekly wax wrap up down at the end of the week on Sunday. At the end of those videos, I tend to talk a little bit more about what I've been getting up to in my personal life and all the trouble that I've been causing. So stay tuned for that too. Lots of good stuff coming up. You guys should subscribe. You should thumbs up this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of Vanilla Romance. And until next time, my dear, gorgeous, beautiful candle-loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, guys. Bye now.